Okay. All right.
And data processes.
So is an electronic device that accepts data. In bracket, you have their input
Mm-hmm.
and then process the data according to the instruction.
Instruction.
Now stores the data and produces meaningful information. In bracket, you have output. Now I am going to break it. And let me just throw more light so you can actually get it. Now, computer, they say, is an electronic device. That means it's not only the laptop we are using right now that is computer.
Mm.
The mobile phone you are using is also a computer.
Yeah.
Then like, for example, you have POS and you have a ATM machine. Those are electronic devices and they are called what? Computer. It's not only the laptop that is computer. Now, talking about that, they accept input. The inputs, they accept data as an input. Now, the data we are talking about is the information we are inputting in our computer.
All right.
The information could be audio data, it could be text data, it could be video data. And then talking about input, when we want to type our CV, for example, we use our keyboard, which is input device. I will get to that now, but just take it away. Using input device to input the information, which is data, into our computer. Now, computer will receive it. That's why we say it accepts the data using the input what device. And then one of the input devices are what? Keyboard and mouse. Okay. Now, the next point, they say processes the data according to instructions. The instructions are those programs you are putting in. Now, let's say, for example, we have seen, apart from the laptop we're using, we have what we call desktop. And desktop comes in different components. Desktop will have CPU, and then we have monitor, and we have keyboard. And then we also have what? A mouse. All these devices put together are called peripheral units or devices. And then peripheral devices are those parts of computer that you can fit into the laptop in order to work with the computer. Now, processing it, what does the processing is the CPU. The CPU is the brain of the computer. Is the brain of the computer. Who does this? What? The processing. Is the brain of the computer which processes everything that you put in the computer. After processing the instruction that you have given, it stores it in the memory, which is the brain. And then at the end, it produces what the meaningful information as what? An output. Now, what actually makes you to see those inputs is what we call the monitor. With the monitor, you'll be able to view what you have inputted. The data, if you are going to type a CV or a letter, you use your keyboard to type, to input those data to the laptop or to the computer. And computer will accept it. The CPU will do the processing, try to process it, just like you have gold, for example. When they are digging out gold initial stage is not as beautiful as you are seeing it. But after it has gone through processes, it becomes so beautiful that everybody wants to have it. That is what computer does. So we have different stages now. The first stage is to accept, which is what? Input. And then the second stage is what? Processing stage, which also, yes, process what stages, which also, hello, man.
No, I'm listening to you.
Okay. Which also perform, which perform that is what? The CPU, which is the brain of computer. And then the output, which brings the information, actually happens what? With the what? Help of monitor. So that is why we have that definition. I don't know if this definition is a bit clear from what I just said now.
Okay.
Now, and that,
we said
that
the inputs when we input our data.
We are using keyboard.
Yeah, we use the keyboard to input our data.
Yes.
Then
And
the CPU
yes, is the
is
brain
one
of
that
the
will
computer.
process it. Yes, we process it and store
Yes,
it.
exactly. After storing it now, it
Yes,
brings it out for us for the
it
users,
brings
which
it
is
out.
you and I, to see.
Yes,
And with the
and
help
that
of
is through the
what?
monitor.
Good.
The
Yes.
monitor.
Yes. So that is just the definition of computer, and that's what computer does. And that will take us to the next this thing, which is the basic components of computer system. Now, we have a computer system is made up of the following major components. We have hardware component. Now, and these hardware components are the physical parts of computer that we can actually see and touch.
Yeah.
The examples of these components are what? Monitor. You can see it on the screen now. Monitor, you have keyboard, you have mouse, you have system unit. Printer and scanner are also what? Hardware components. Now, from the definition we have from
Wait, please. This
okay.
monitor now, is it this surface?
Now,
This
if
surface
you
that I'm looking to see the thing.
yes, the monitor is the screen area you are seeing. That is the monitor.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yes. So that is the monitor, and it looks like television. If you are using desktop now, for example, you notice that it looks like television. The shape will be like television shape. Okay. So if you are using the desktop,
Okay.
that one that has different components, but that one is not portable. So is after some time now, they have to reduce it to this the one we are using, which is called laptop, which is what very portable. You can carry it to anywhere. But the other one, which is desktop, you cannot actually carry it to your office because you can't be carrying your CPU on the head, carrying your monitor and carrying mouse is going to be stressful. Okay. Now, from the definition we have from the computer definition, the things we just mentioned, which is the hardware which we just mentioned now, we said is what the physical part that you can see or touch. Now, if you are looking at the desktop setting now, the CPU, you can detach it from other component. Then you can carry it. You can feel it. Mouse is also a hardware. You can also what? Touch it. You can also feel it as well. Likewise, the monitor. Those are hardware components. They are physical parts. And like example we stated now are what? Monitor. We have keyboard. We have mouse. Monitor, it is used to view our input, to view the result that we inputted in the laptop or in the computer. One, with the keyboard is also a component, a physical component of computer that enables us to input our data into the computer. And then we have the mouse. Mouse is very important also. Mouse is one of the components of computer, and its function is to click. Yes, it's actually used to click to pick an icon from one position to another. It can also be used to open an application. I'm talking about the mouse now. Okay. And then system unit, which I just mentioned now, is the brain of computer. It's what actually processes all the inputs, all the things we inputted in computer. After processing them, it will bring it out.
Having a call.
Yes, that was yes.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. God just came in now. Sorry, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So now the CPU is the brain of computer which processes all the inputs, and at the end, it will push it out for the user to view with the help of what? Monitor. Then, of course, printer
The
is used.
monitor.
Yes. Of course, printer is one of the output components.
Yeah.
Yes. So it brings out our data
Yeah.
in a hard copy. In a hard copy. Yes. But the monitor actually displays it in a soft copy. You cannot feel that particular part. What is bringing, what you are viewing on the computer, on the monitor is not a hard copy. But then printer is the alternative of the monitor. whereby you can have the hard copy of your document as a backup. And then we have scanner. Those are input what devices. Okay, so that will take us. Okay, before I will move now, I don't know if this hardware is clear to you now.
Yeah, it's clear. The said hardware it was the physical thing we can see and touch.
Yes.
What we can touch.
Yes.
Like we can touch the what was it called?
The part that is
touch the monitor, touch the CPU, touch
yes,
the mouse, all the parts, the component,
yes.
the printer, the scanner, can touch all those parts.
Exactly. Good. So that is it. Thank you. So let's move ahead now. We have another part which is what software.
Yeah.
Now, software is just like opposite of what we just talked about now. Is opposite of what? The hardware. Now, software is refers to the programs or instructions that tells a computer what to do. Now, this particular part, you are not touching it. You can't really touch it. You can't hold it. You can't carry it.
Come again.
Now, software refers to the programs or instructions, you understand, that tells the computer what to do. Okay. Now, this particular component of computer is actually a part that you cannot actually feel or touch physically like that. It's not like a hardware component. This is a software that you cannot touch, you cannot hold it. Now, you've noticed WhatsApp application, the app, Facebook app, and some of the app you have in your phone. Those apps are software programs. Do you understand? You cannot touch them. You can only view them, but you cannot touch them. You can only see them, but you cannot what? Feel them. So now we have types of software. We have system software, which is the Windows, which we are going to talk after we are done with computer appreciation now. Now, and we also have application software, which is what? Microsoft Word and Excel. So those are the types of what? Software. Now, the system software is the Windows, which actually instructs the computers what to do. It's just like a middleman between the computer, the CPU, and the peripherals. Peripherals are those ones that we can join, those mouse, monitor, and all that. It gives instruction. You understand? That is the software. And then the application software are those apps you are seeing. Microsoft Office, which is Microsoft Word, Excel, those are application software. Okay. And then we'll have the other part, which we call peopleware, or you call it humanware. Now, this humanware are the users, which is you and I.
Users.
Yes. You and I are the humanware. These are the people who operate or uses what? The computer. They are the people that uses what? The computer, which is you and I. Examples we gave there are what? Students, teachers, and office workers. So that is humanware. So when we mention that, some people might just be confused when we say humanware and that, but the simple explanation that you can actually get is this. And then the last part there, we have data. Data. Now, data is refers to raw facts entered into the computer. Now, when we're talking about data, we're also talking about the informations, those instructions that are inputted to the computer. Data is not just the suspicion we are, so it's not what was, it's not the data we are. When somebody say, I want to buy data. Now, it's not that type of data. We're talking about the informations, the raw informations you have. And when you input it in the computer will process it and bring it out for you to view. Now, mind you, computer is just like, there's one language you normally speak in computer, which is garbage in, garbage out.
Garbage out, yeah.
Yes, is a computer term or slangs that we normally use. What it means is that whatsoever you give to computer, that is what computer is going to bring out. Yes. So that is just the meaning of that slangs. That is meaning of that language, garbage in, garbage out. Now, the example of data is what? number. We have number data, we have text, and have image, like I said before. Now, number data could be like figures, like numeric figures. The text could be your name, could be alphabet. Those are the names, could be your name, could be my name, those are text. Now, talking about the images, the photos are the image what? Data. So when you are inputting data, it's not only what you type. You can actually what? Input image as your video to the computer. And computer will give you, and you will see your video, you see your pictures. Those images can also display on the screen, which is also known as what? Data. So I don't know so far if it is clear, our explanation so far.
Yeah.
Okay, so move ahead. Okay. So we're going to move ahead to the basic functions of a computer.
Okay.
Now, like you are seeing on the screen already, we have the computer performs 4 main functions. Now, from the definition we have in the computers, we have, look at the things we listed before. We have input, we have processing stage, we have storage, and we have output.
Output.
Yes. Now, those are the functions of computer. Now, in input, what computer does, it receives data through devices like keyboard and mouse. So that will now tell you that one of the components, the input devices of computer is what? Keyboard and what? Mouse.
Keyboard, mouse.
Yes. Those are the input devices. So when I ask you what are the input devices of computer, you will now mention that the input devices are what? Keyboard and also
keyboard,
what?
Mouse. Mouse.
So they are used to input data into the computer. And then the next one is processing. Processing, this is work on the data inside the CPU. CPU is what processes the data we inputted. After you have inputted your data, the next thing is the processing stage. And CPU does that processing. And then after it's done with the processing, it stores it. You can see now we are bringing back our definition, our computer definition. Yes. Now CPU processes it and then stores it for the future purpose for the users to actually see. And that which is the last stage, which is what the output. After it has stored it, it brings this out for the user to view. It produces what the result through the monitor or printer. Now, when it comes out through print monitor, it comes out at what? Soft copy. Okay. Now, but if it comes out, it comes out as through printer. It comes as hard copy. Okay.
The line was breaking.
Yes, a call is coming in. The call is coming in. So you now see the difference between these two options, but they are both what? Output what? Devices. So the this process is what? One comes out in hard copy and one comes out in what? Hard copy.
Comes out with soft copy and hard copy.
Yes. So that is the function of our computers, what it does. Now, the uses of
this is known as the IPOS cycle. What's that? Did you get me?
So the IPOS is not the acronym.
IPOS.
Yes. IPOS. Call it IPOS cycle. Is this thing? Is the acronym
IPOS.
Yes. The acronym of this. That is what the acronym of this. So, for example, if you have to write exam now with this can help you to be able to remember those options. So, is it acronym? Yes. So, we move on to the next one, which is what the uses of. Okay, sorry, I don't know if you got that part. Yes, the basic function of computer. I hope you got it.
Which one?
The one we just finished talking about now. This one, you can see my mouse is moving there.
Yeah, the functions here now. We said that it has 4 functions.
Yes.
It says it has 4 functions. It has the input function, which it receives the data from, which we use the keyboard and the mouse to do.
Exactly.
Then it has the processing part of it, whereby the CPU will work on the whatever information you put into the data. Exactly. Then it stores it for future purpose. If you're not using it instantly, it stores it. But if you're using it, it can come out through the monitor.
or printer.
What the output? The output is through the monitor, whereby you see the soft copy or hard copy, or through the printer, you can print it out.
Exactly. Yeah, thank you very much. So we move ahead. So the next thing are going to be uses of computer.
Yeah.
So now, computers are used in many areas, including education. Now, under education now, of course, this is to teach and online learning, just like we're doing now. There's so many things you can do with computer. You can browse with computer, can even do some kind of social media event with computer. You can see in bracket, we have teaching, online learning on that computer. And then we also have banking. Now, like, when I was defining computer, I mentioned that it's not only the laptop that is computer. Yes. I also mentioned that ATM, POS, and other things are also what? Computer. Now, that's why under banking, we'll have in bracket ATM and we'll have transactions. Now, ATM, you can use ATM to withdraw money, to also do transaction. And then transaction could also be done through online, through internet. You can also use computer to do that. Okay. And then you also have here offices that you can use is to type in, record keeping. Okay. Now, those are the things you can also use computer to do with a specific application. For example, we have application which is the main program we're going to focus on when we are done with this computer application, this beginner's stage, which is Microsoft Word, which is Excel and PowerPoint. Now, when you talk about typing, we're talking about Microsoft Word. And we're talking about also, we'll call it data processing or word processing rather. Now, record keeping, you can use Excel to do that. We're going to see more of that when we get to that level, that stage. And then in hospital, you can also use computer in what? In hospitals. Now, in bracket, you have patient records. It actually helps to keep the record of the patient in the hospital, their details, the records, everything pertaining there, their payment pattern, the mode of their payment. It can also use to get a track record of those patients in the hospital. And then, of course, we have communication. Now, there are so many, in fact, you can use computer to communicate. Emails, internet, even what we are doing now is also a way of communication. We're communicating. WhatsApp, you can see, of course, you can use WhatsApp to communicate. You can also use WhatsApp in the computer. Of course, so many things. You can even use to make video calls. Entertainment is another way you can use computer, which is music. So, and then you watch movies and then play games with the help of what? Computer. So those are the uses of computer. And there's so many other things which you cannot mention now, or not many things you can do with computer. Okay. All right, let me just notify you in probably less than 10 minutes, I might log out, but within a few minutes, I'll come back again. I'm not using a pro version of Zoom. So after 45 minutes, I'll be logged out and then I'll log in again. Okay. So we'll move ahead. So the next thing we're going to look at now is advantages of computers. Because of course, everything that have advantage also have disadvantages. In as much as we are using computers, we also have the aspect that is not actually also good. But then let's start with the advantages first. And the first advantage is one, fast processing of information. Now, when you are typing, if you notice when you're typing with your keyboard, as soon as you put A, automatically it's showing in your screen immediately. And you are seeing it. So you begin to wonder. Immediately, the processor or CPU has already taken it immediately and processed it and then push it out. Within not even a second. I don't know if it's a second. And you're able to see what you have inputted. So one of the advantages was fast processing of information.
Processing of information.
Yes, that is it. And another one is what? high what? Accuracy. A computer hardly make mistake. It's what you give. Whatever you give to computer, that is exactly what you're going to bring out as an output, as a result. So that is the one of the advantages. High what? Accuracy. And then large storage capacity. Okay. So it stores a lot of information, a lot of data. It has large storage capacity. And then saves time and effort. Now, if you want to compare, and this aspect of saving time and effort, you know, there are some things we do with computer. Ordinarily, when we are using manual method, for example, this record keeping and all that, you have to write with your, you know, when you are using Biro to jot on things, it's going to be time consuming and it's going to require a lot of effort. But these days now, you must not even necessarily want to type with your hand. You just go to internet, browse something, and then copy it and paste to your computer, and you are done. So those are the things computer can do. It saves time and it's what save a lot of effort. So it improves productivities. Because when you are, for example, if you are going to be printing some things now, with the help of printer, you can actually print a lot of things sharp. And a lot of, even in your business, you can.
All these things you are saying, so they are in the reading material.
Yes, of course, they are there. I might give you this.
Because I belong the writer down.
Okay, if you want to write, it's okay. But if you don't want to write, I'm going to send. I can send this.
I'm listening.
I can send this as a soft copy to you.
Because I'm going to pray everything I'm printing them out. I'll just send it to somebody in what is this called? This school. Yeah, it's cheaper. Okay, they will print everything out for me.
Okay, good. That means I will send it.
Please just send all of them.
It's okay.
All of them. I'll just send it. We'll print it. I'll go and collect it.
It's okay. I have a bigger one. I have this one I'm using now, and I have the one I'm using in class, which is very elaborate. It's very big. So maybe I'll send that one. Contains more. I'll send everything. But whatever I'm saying here is the same thing you're going to see there. But this one I had to like make this one to be summarize everything. Yes, yeah. So, and that is it. Of course, we are going to look at what is advantages of computers. Yes, which is what? Number one, can cause eye strain in what? Misuse.
Yeah.
If you constantly use computer, look through your screen all the time, even phone. So it affects your eyes. So that is why sometimes it's not always advisable to always constantly always focus on your screen all the time. So, and even at that, that's why we have some have to go to hospital to get a kind of glasses for eyeglass for this particular purpose in order to help prevent this kind of situation. Now, another one is what? Independent on electricity. For example, you know, when you told me we might meet today by 1 o'clock, as at that time, I know I was attending a class yesterday in the evening. And I know if I use my laptop and if there's no light, nobody did not bring light, I will not be able to charge my laptop. And that means the class might not go. So it becomes a challenge. That is why independent on what? Electricity. So we need electricity to actually work with this. Okay?
Yeah.
So that is a disadvantage. Independence on what? On electricity. Another one is what? It leads to job displacement.
Very well.
Yeah. So, and the last one there, security and privacy risk. For example, your laptop can actually be for security reasons, maybe at a virus, and then somebody can actually break into your system if it's not well properly protected. Then if you have some confidential things in your laptop, some people can actually break in and then probably made away with some things which they are not supposed to do. And that will bring us, I'm going to teach us how we can actually password our documents, but not in this stage now, but we get there. How you can password, not even the system or your document. For example, you have some confidential document that you don't want people to have access to, so you can password it. So I'm going to teach us that. And then this one, of course, the areas where computers are used, because we know everywhere, schools, offices, banks, hospitals, airports, and homes. So that is just it. So that is the end of computer appreciation, or let's say computer introduction to computer. These are the basic things you can know about computer. Now,
Okay.
I will just want to know, I want to get your response to know if what we have just said so far, if you actually got them.
Yeah.
Okay. So in summary, in this aspect of introduction to computer, a computer is an electronic machine that helps human process information efficiently. That is the computer. A computer appreciation helps learners understand the importance, the uses, and the basic operations of what computers in everyday
Yeah.
life. So that is just the summary of what the computer. So that is basically the aspect of this. So I think I will leave this particular thing. Any moment from now, maybe in less than 1 hour, I might log out and then I'll come in. So once I notice that I'm not on, just hold on a few minutes or less than a minute, I will log in again. Okay, so let's move into another. I'm going to open another slide where we actually have introduction to I have another this in there. Let me check if it's this one. Okay, no, it's not this one. Okay, so now we are going to introduce Windows. Since we are done with the basic explanation of computer, are you with me? Hello, are you there? Okay, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now we are done with the first stage. So this is where our class will actually commence. Today, we are likely to do a bit of practical, but we'll not really dive into Microsoft Word. Microsoft Word is maybe next class is when we introduce it, but we'll have to get to understand these windows first so that we'll be able to cope with the main program. Now we have a Microsoft Windows. Now,